Hi, I'm Brett, and this is an update on the opportunities to improve your supercharged or turbocharged Toyota 86 or BRZ. And today we're going to talk about the larger supercharger option on the Sprintex supercharger kits. And you'll notice here how big the pulley is compared to the smaller 75mm pulley that comes factory standard with this larger pulley kit. Or in fact, that 75mm pulley actually comes standard with the smaller supercharger kit as part of the Sprintex update. Or if you're in the US, the Innovate market that kit as well as a rebranded kit manufactured here in Australia by Sprintex. Now, you might be saying, well, what are we talking about pulleys? Why are we talking about superchargers? Well, one of the things that you've got to remember is a lot of people want to fit the larger supercharger, but you want the reliability of a performing engine that's not going to go bang. You've got to remember these engines run 12.5 to 1 compression ratio, so they're not designed to start with positive intake pressure, let alone putting 5, 10, 15 psi boost into these engines, unlike the new WRX, which has got a similar design block but runs less compression ratio but around 20 psi boost, obviously with a factory fitted turbo. But I digress. The thing that we want to talk about today is the tips and traps of what you need to know when you're opting to fit the larger supercharger on a normally standard engine before you build the engine, before you put modified pistons and rods in, and before you decompress it down to around 9 or 10 to 1. And we'll talk about the compression ratios later, but here you'll notice we're running around a 95 to 100mm diameter pulley because the reciprocating speed of this supercharger directly relates to the amount of boost that the blower will feed into the engine. If you run a smaller pulley, you run more boost and you risk hurting the engine. If you're running a bigger pulley, you reduce the boost. But things you've got to remember is the kit was never really designed for a large blower pulley like this because it doesn't fit on the underside of the bonnet. And you'll see you have to make small changes to the rib of the bonnet to make sure it clears the supercharger pulley because the pulley is so big. And you might ask yourself, well, what happens in the future? Well, obviously this customer is ultimately aiming for an engine upgrade, but he wanted to put the bigger blower on first to have a little bit of fun with the engine, but he knows he's not allowed to rev it above 5.5 or 6,000 RPM, otherwise even with this size pulley, it will still run dangerous amounts of boost and risk hurting his engine. But down the track, he knows the small disadvantages now of high RPM still outweighs the huge improvements of the efficiency of this blower, which improves the bottom end performance. And then later on down the track, he's going to rebuild his engine with forged pistons and rods and other internal modifications that we do. And then we'll put this kit back on, we'll put the smaller pulley, we'll run more boost, and then he's going to have a car that's going to really crack and give incredible torque and fantastic top end. Because remember, the Sprintex supercharger is designed for medium to top end performance, but even at this level with this high capacity blower, the bottom end performance and torque off the mark is quite surprising. So if you're looking for an upgrade, have a think about what your options and your long-term plans are. Decide about your pulley diameter, decide about which supercharger you're going to fit, but most importantly, think about fitting something that you know is going to give you the reliable outcome that you're hoping to achieve in the big picture. But for today, if you want more information about your Toyota 86 or Subaru BRZ or any other cars, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Subaru, or Great Wall or the Nissan Pulsar SSS, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, and I hope this info has helped you to learn more about your car no matter where you are in the world. Bye bye.